I'm going to make a super speedy stir fry and I'm going to showcase some kangaroo steaks. Kangaroo is lean, it's a fantastic protein to use, and if you know how to cook pork, lamb or beef, you definitely will be able to cook some kangaroo. I also love the flavour of it. So stir frying it, like I said, just like you would cook beef, pork, all you need to do is cut it nice and thin and we're going to marinate it. So I'm going to use 2 of these beautiful steaks. You'll see the muscle tissues going this way. So when you're cutting it, to ensure that it's super moist as you eat it, you want to cut it against the grain. So nice, thin slices. Now I'm going to marinate this in some soy sauce and a little corn flour to thicken up the sauce later on. Okay. Now, before we put that in the bowl, we'll just add some corn flour, so about a teaspoon. I'll add some light soy sauce, about a tablespoon, and you want to mix this in with our corn flour. And I'll also add a splash of oil. That's just vegetable oil. One last mix, and then in with our kangaroo. Now, just with a spoon, we're going to coat that. Okay, that is done. We'll just pop that to the side for a moment while we prepare all our other ingredients. So when you're stir frying, putting everything mise en place is crucial. So 1 onion, we're going to finely slice. Okay, to one side. That onion was large, so I'm only going to use half of it. 2 cloves of garlic. We'll just crush that and finely chop it so that can go into the same pile as our onions. And then for some heat, I'm going to use half of this chilli, just finely sliced into rounds. I'm going to leave the seeds in so we've got a bit of heat in there. Now for some ginger, I'm going to cut this into thin strips. So I'll cut a few pieces off and then gather it into piles and then finely slice. And you can see I'm quite heavy on the ginger because I love it. Next up, some shiitake mushrooms. I have some fresh shiitake mushrooms. We're just going to take that little core away and then we're going to cut it into thick slices. We'll need 3 or 4 of these shiitake mushrooms. And last one, that's a big one. Okay. We are ready to stir fry. Now I've been preheating my wok, a good tablespoon of vegetable oil, and we're going to start by cooking our meat. So in that goes, and I'll just use my tongs just to separate each piece of kangaroo. Kangaroo is best served medium rare, so it's just a very, very fast cook, and then we'll just toss it in the oil. You can see we've got some lovely caramelisation on the kangaroo, and now we'll take it out. It's going to go back in the pan soon, so it will cook a second time. Now for our onion, ginger, garlic and chilli mixture, we'll just break up those onions. I'll also add another splash of that oil. And then again, this is going to cook quite quickly until we get a slight caramelisation on those onions. Okay, it's looking good. And in with our mushies. Mushies take no time at all to cook. We're going to coat that in that lovely onion mixture. And now for a sauce to go with this, a combination of light soy sauce again, so a generous splash there. Some oyster sauce, it's going to give it a lovely colour too, so in with that. Again, about a tablespoon, and to balance it all out, some sweetness, some sugar. Again, a tablespoon. Coat all of that. For some greens, some bok choy. When I'm cooking with bok choy, I like to add the base of the bok choy first because they take the longest to cook. So we're going to add them. We still want them to be crunchy, so they don't take too long, but we do want to coat them in that sauce and give them a head start, and then we'll add the leaves. And kangaroo can go back in now with any of those juices. See how shiny that is? That's because we added that corn flour. Looking good. Now we're going to add the greens. So just the tops of our bok choy. And you can serve this with rice, but I love rice noodles. These large, flat rice noodles are fantastic. So I've just separated them and just warmed them up in some water. Going to add a generous amount. This is going to feed a family of 4 right here. And then we're going to bring this home by giving that the last toss. The last addition to this is some freshly cracked pepper. I like to make it coarse too, so you really can taste it throughout the dish. Yum. All right. How easy is that? Stir fry, for me it's an everyday kind of dish. I make it at least once a week. And instead of using beef, pork or lamb, I have repeated that a few times, why not try kangaroo? It is so delicious. And how fast is it to cook? So we'll add a generous portion just for me. Here we go. Kangaroo stir fry, oyster sauce and freshly cracked pepper at the end. It's a winner.